Hey guys, Rulerrobin here again, and this time we're going to be taking a look at the assault rifles used in Apex Legends, the R301 Carbine and the VK-47 Flatline, which I will refer to as the Carbine and Flatline. I will not be comparing the Hemlock in this video because it's going to be like comparing apples and oranges, though I do acknowledge that it is a pretty good weapon in its own right if used correctly. How I will be comparing these two weapons will be through the damage with damage per bullet, the rounds per minute, what does this mean, the recoil and the difficulty, the attachments and what they do for the gun and how it's going to affect your play, and the rarity of the ammo very briefly. Thanks to the ultimate weapon chart that Thrill Game put out on the Apex Legends subreddit, we can see that the Carbine comes only slightly ahead of the Flatline. The Carbine will do 336 DPS to the head and 186 to the body, while the Flatline will do 320 DPS to the head and 160 DPS to the body, which leaves the Flatline doing 16 and 26 less DPS respectively. What does this really mean? Well, considering the rate of fire each gun has, 720 rounds per minute for the Carbine and 600 for the Flatline, this is how much damage they do with the amount of bullets they shoot. When you do the math, the Flatline shoots 10 bullets, 2 less than the Carbine, and also does less damage. Now, I know. It's not really much of a difference. After all, it's only 2 bullets and 16 and 26 damage respectively, right, for headshot and body. But if you consider someone having level 2 or blue armor, which means they have 175 HP, and if you hit every shot in the first second, the Carbine will be able to take down someone just with body shots, but the Flatline will not. Alternatively though, if you hit 2 headshots within the first 10 seconds out of all your shots, you'll be able to take down a player with level 3, purple or gold armor, as Carbine will be able to do 214 points of damage, while the Flatline will only do 192 points of damage, leaving the enemy player with 8 HP. Now, in a game like this, that's going to be really frustrating because of how fast the healing is in this game, and you can argue that your teammates could damage them as well and tag them for a little bit. However, I'm explaining this in a way that relies on you, just by yourself, doing damage to the enemy team and doing as much as you can to carry your team to the victory. Think about it this way. If you knock a player down and the enemy team chooses to revive their player, they have to use someone to revive them, and this gives you an opening to push easier because only one of their players is going to be suppressing you and trying to hit you as you push forward. Whilst if you leave them with a sliver of HP, 2 players are still stopping you from pushing instead of just one, allowing them to heal up quickly. Meaning damage wise, overall the Carbine is just better than the Flatline. However, if you consider that an average player would hit around maybe 50% of their shots due to recoil and people moving around, could the Flatline technically be better? Now I'm going to be assessing the recoil and the attachments by using the purple stock and the purple stabilizer. This is because we're trying to see which gun is actually the best, which means we need them at the best of their ability. In terms of recoil, I have found that the Carbine has a much easier recoil to control, however marginally less time for error as it shoots 2 bullets more per second than the Flatline and has a lower max bullet magazine. Technically, if we just go by half the size of the magazine, you will do more damage with the Flatline because you shoot 15 instead of the 10 from before, as your max magazine is 30 bullets. And the Carbine will only deal 196 damage with 14 bullets, as their max magazine size is 28, only 2 lower than the Flatline. The problem with this though is that the Flatline still has to take that extra time to shoot, and even before then, the Carbine's kill time is 1.1 seconds, while the Flatline's kill time is 1.3, so even before you get to that point, you should effectively be dead if both of you are the same skill level. Now while looking at the video here, you can clearly see that the Carbine's recoil is much easier to control and it's much more compact than the Flatline. You can also see that in the first second of shooting, which is also very important as it's very impactful in a fight, making someone heal or run away, the Flatline is much more difficult to control as the bullets are much more spread out and you have to pull down diagonally to the right, while in the Carbine, you only have to pull down. I mean, sure, there's a little bit of diagonal in there, however, it's much easier to control overall. While discussing the recoil of these weapons, we need to look at the possible attachments. The Carbine allows for stabilizer and stock, while the Flatline uses just the stock. What does a stabilizer do? A stabilizer helps reduce the recoil, and from what I've seen, a lot of vertical recoil. Now I may have to do some testing on this, but I do believe that with the description that the stock has, it reduces the variations of spray that your gun may have. It also provides a little bit of a handling boost when you're spraying your weapon, so that it's a little bit easier to move your gun with your mouse and control your spray overall. Now that we have seen what the different weapons can do, a major component of these weapons is the rarity of their ammo. From my own experiences, as well as others, my friends in Reddit, it seems as if heavy ammo is rarer than light, meaning that in low ammo situations, you'll be able to find carbine ammo much more easily than flatline ammo, technically making the carbine a much more easier gun to maintain overall. So overall, if we consider that when both weapons are used for their intended purposes, short to medium range, the carbine will do more damage quicker and is easier to control. So I would recommend the carbine over the flatline when it comes to these two weapons. So that's the end of this one, guys. I hope it was helpful, and if you guys have anything you want to add to the video or any suggestions that you might want to see in it, put it in the comments, hit me up on Discord, on Twitch, you know, that type of stuff. And I'll be doing more of these on the other weapons soon, so keep a lookout for those. And I'll also be trying to do some legend previews / tips and tutorials, so subscribe and come by on Twitch to hang out. And I'll see you guys next time, so peace out, dudes.